serious, has a friend ever done / said something that just straight up ended the friendship? What happened? Hey, do you wanna be your own boss and retire by 25? So, my friends and I all found out that another friend, from here on known as BG4 birthday girl, had never had a surprise birthday thrown for her, and it was her dream. So we decided to make that happen. My husband planned a big get together at another friend's house. We invited lots of friends, bought lots of food and even barbecue equipment, and really went all out. BG found out about the surprise party a few weeks beforehand by accident, and was thrilled. Like, broke down sobbing. She was so happy because no one had ever done it for her before. Awesome. We were hyped! 2 days before the party, she texts my husband that she's changed plans and is going bowling with another friend instead. But we are invited to come. 8D. What? We were floored and pretty pissed. And lots of people were already committed to coming to this thing. So we just had the party without her. And she texted us some super angry messages because we didn't show up for bowling. Now no one is friends with her. In college, a former friend tried to have sex with me. I'm also a guy. While I was blackout drunk, he was not drunk. He did that despite knowing I'm straight and had a girlfriend at the time. Lucky for me, there were some actual friends that stopped him. After I spent all day using my truck and trailer helping him haul tables and chairs and a giant archway to the church for his wedding, that I was supposed to be a groomsman. Him: hey Jude, I really appreciate you helping me move this stuff. I couldn't get anyone else to help. Here's $20 for the gasm. Whoa Jude, I'm in your wedding. I don't need money to help make this happen. He: yeah dude. So hey, Brent, his soon to be wife's best guy friend / 100% ex-fuck buddy / guy he's known for less than 3 months, really wanted to be in the wedding, and I was wondering if it would be cool if he took your spot, and I can see if any of her cousins backed out, and if there's a seat open somewhere. This was the day before the wedding. I had been best friends with that guy since kindergarten. His wife didn't like me because I knew about her wild past from a different circle of friends, so this was her attempt to push me out. He caved, but none of the other people involved would help move shit, so he waited until last minute to get me to help. Haven't spoken to that guy since, and last I heard she quit her job and sucks dick in his house all day while he's at work. They deserve each other. Edit. I feel like I need to add, 2 days after the wedding the church venue called me frantic. Apparently no one picked up the chairs, tables, and archway from the church venue, and those fucks gave my number and told them I was supposed to be picking them up. That didn't happen. Had a whole bunch do it at once. I used to have a group of people I thought were my friends. Because of this, I did a lot for them. I helped them out by working on their projects, supported them, let one stay in my home rent free when they were in danger of becoming homeless. I did all that for these people, but 2 years in a row, they couldn't be bothered to do something as simple and easy as meet up with me for drinks to celebrate my birthday. Half of them didn't even bother responding to being invited. I've pretty much cut them all out of my life now. I'm done being used by those who don't care about me. I was in this situation once. After a few years I looked back and thought to myself how nice it was to have them all gone from my life. The friends I have now are all awesome, genuine people. After convincing me to delete my accounts everywhere and make new ones. After promising me that they'll protect me from my abusive ex. After witnessing everything my ex done to me and how it scarred me for life. I found out that my best friend was dating my ex behind my back for months, lying about it the whole time. I didn't know who my friend was dating, as they refused to introduce them in person. It turns out they've been dating behind my back a few weeks before my ex broke up with me. The whole thing scarred me to this day. It's been a year and I haven't heard from either of them since, though. Good riddance. I have chronic health issues, and my best friend was trying to get me to drive 30 minutes to her house to go swimming when I had to pack to leave town the next day. She kept pushing and pushing, but when she finally realized I wasn't going to agree, she sat back and said, "You wouldn't be any fun, even if you had your health." I left and didn't speak to her again. A friend in college had a very mild form of epilepsy. Due to the medication he took, he could not drink alcohol. He really liked some of obscure music that attracted a strange and quite druggy crowd. He was very open about his condition. Yet one of the women in his group of friends openly berated him for not doing drugs. No one really stood up for him. Maybe they realized what a complete piece of shit she was and didn't want to say anything. But who knows? My best mate's now ex-girlfriend told everyone I had sex with her while they were dating, when I definitely had not. She was the most irritating person I'd ever met, and I don't know if I've ever been attracted to someone less than I was to her. Ruined our friendship and destroyed her relationship with my mate. She is one of those people that crave drama and can't live without having something wrong to moan about. She's currently pretending to have multiple personality disorder and blaming that for every time she's a dickhead so she can get away with it. I got sexually assaulted by 2 guys in a summer camp and told it to my best friend. After calling me stupid for letting that happen, she apologized and I forgave her. Then I saw her parents who asked how summer camp went and all she did was turn to me and go, "Well, you made many friends, didn't you? Don't you wanna tell my parents about it?" With a big smile on her face. I don't feel too bad about thinking that she can fuck off in hell. Seriously, what the fuck? It's one thing not believing you, and it's another clearly wanting to embarrass you about it. This sounds like someone who is either a psychopath or just too immature to understand how horrible sexual assault is. I find lots of younger people and children do not understand the full seriousness of it and misjudge their response based on that. I just hope that now she's older she realizes what a terrible person she was back then. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Sexual assault is bad enough, but the betrayal can only make it worse. Jealousy is an ugly emotion and can turn you blind to anything else. Not saying I excuse her behavior, but I'm assuming that she was jealous of the attention the 2 guys gave her. One of my best friends of several years set me up to get robbed for £390. My wallet in my jacket. The guy who robbed me pulled a machete on me and kept it against my neck. I don't really know why they decided they want to do it, but I know from enough people, and just the way it all happened gave me suspicions, telling me it was him, that I found out. So naturally I stopped being friends with him, because it was a bit of a dick move and all. She told me to never speak to her again after she learned I was hearing voices, and we never spoke again. You know what? Recently, like late 2019, I started getting out of the house. I'm a single father of 2 girls and I've focused on them 1000% for a really long time. I finally got out of the house a few times. And I'm serious, I went to this friend's house a few times for game nights. Basically drinking and cards. Till this dude hauled off and hit me for accidentally touching his fucking hat of all things. What struck me most is that they were hosting and didn't even offer an apology to me. It was quite insane for me. It was like I was back in high school. Unfucking real. I gave them ample time to fucking realize what happened. It took the person 3 months to even realize we are no longer friends on social media and she's trying to add me back now. And honestly, it fucking broke something in me. My cousin and I were inseparable as genes. He went on his mission, Mormon, and I went to hang out for a few days. When he got back, I was so excited. I got there, paid for all the fun stuff we went out to do, no problem. His childhood friend and I were trying to get him to go for a walk to this cave we used to go to, and he decided to tell me what a piece of trash I am, and I'm going to hell because I'm gay. I didn't say a word as I drove him home immediately. I said get out, and haven't talked to him in the 8 years since then. Fuck him. People never come back from an LDS mission the same person. My ex went on a mission to Ecuador. Nicest girl before the mission. We got along great. Genuine communication. Same sense of the humor. The whole shebang. She comes back from her mission and she has just turned into an incredibly toxic person. Lying about a lot of stuff. Gaslighting. Just no respect for anybody. I will not be treated like that, so I cut her out. She still tries to contact me on occasion. About a year later. Good for you. It makes you wonder what happens to them on those missions to completely change everything about who they are. Definitely not making any excuses for their behavior afterwards. I can just only imagine what has to happen to a person to alter them so entirely. She got married. I was just friends with this girl from law school. She was a cool girl and we lived in the same city after law school. We never had sex. We had never seen each other naked. I was dating someone else at the time. She was dating this guy. I met her parents as just a friend, was friends with her sister. So for about 6 years we were just pretty cool friends. She gets married. Her husband then texts me and tells me to stay away from her. I text her and say, "Yo, your husband is telling me not to speak with you anymore. Is that what you want?" I got no response. Cool. A few weeks pass, and I call friend's sister and see if she wants to grab a drink as I was in the area. "You got some fucking nerve calling me." What? Listen, I know 20th doesn't want me to speak to her, but not sure why we can't be friends. Are you fucking kidding me? You ruined her life and are trying to ruin her marriage with what you did to her. What? I'm sorry. I have no idea what you are talking about. I have always had her best interest at heart, so I dunno. Yeah. Well, then why didn't you tell her you had herpes before you fucked her? Wait, what? She and I never had sex and I don't have herpes, so I'm a little confused here. Stop fucking lying. Husband told the whole thing and she never denied it, so fuck you. Don't fucking ever speak to us again, alright? Come to find out, that asshole had herpes and didn't tell her, and he gave her herpes, and when it got out that she had herpes somehow, he blamed it on me, and she just let the lie take hold because it was easier than her family hating her husband. Alright, cheers. Consider it a parting gift. Best friend and ex-coworker for 5 years. Confided in her and told her about my self-harming, depression and stuff I went through as a child. You can imagine. 2 days later she not only told the whole of my old workplace, but told my family too. Absolutely heartbreaking. I started a job once as an IT bloke with one other person. He asked me what my strengths and weaknesses were in IT. So I said what I was good at and what I might need help with. This guy went straight to the big boss and told him that I admitted that I can't do certain things. I said I had no real life experience with certain areas. Doesn't mean I can't do them. I was fired on the spot. Found out later that the IT guy was running that many scams at work that he couldn't afford to have another person working there that might uncover what he was doing. I was there a week and knew of one scam he was running. If someone screwed me over a job like that, I would have gone out of my way to fuck him up by revealing him to higher ups and also the authority. Also, hold and wave that shit over their heads while they walk out the door. She and I share a birthday, so I drove 4 hours from my house to hers for a joint party. She ignored me the whole time, like actively looking at me and then walking away when I tried to talk to her. It had been the last straw in an abusive friendship. Then after I cut ties, she waited 3 weeks to email me a sorry if you thought I was ignoring you. I wasn't. I was stressed over a death in the family that happened a year before, and BF and I breaking up. They were dating for like a month, and being unemployed she quit her job. None of that was a reason to ignore someone who drove 4 hours to a party for you. I'm an introvert, but she loved this place, so I sacrificed my birthday for hers. Again, and then actively ignoring me. 1 year for our birthdays we said we would buy each other massages at this super fancy spa. When we got there she asked if I could also get her a facial, and it would be her Christmas gift too. I said sure. When it came time to check out she told me she couldn't afford my massage, so I bought mine, hers and her facial. She never paid me back. She was a straight up awful person who needed to put me down to feel better about herself. And I let her. For 10 years. My former best friend of over 6 years hit up my ex-girlfriend the day we broke up. He sent her a DM asking if she wanted to hang out at his house parents, but WTV. At the time he also had a girlfriend who was pregnant with his kid. My ex hit me and his girlfriend up with the messages. My ex and his girlfriend decided to go together at his place and expose him. I didn't want to do with any of that, but I didn't want anything to happen to either of the girls. So we show up. His mom greets us and lets us in. As soon as he saw us three he knew that his shit was up, but acted all surprised. We told him we knew. He kept defending his case by saying his little brother, who was fucking 6, sent my ex those messages. Well, to make a long story short, his pregnant girlfriend left him. He's currently paying child support. He also moved out of the state like a month later. My ex and I are back together and 3 months into our marriage. Said I was being a bad friend for not wanting to game after my 6th 10-hour shift that week. I was beyond exhausted and desperately wanted to go to bed. Said friend also called me a little bitch because I was worried that I got my then GF pregnant before this incident. That GF later left me for other reasons. So I decided to start making changes without her holding me back. New job, different living arrangement, started doing more outside of the house, etc. I didn't mean for him to be one of the things left behind, but I've gotten out of that bit and have much better friends now. Said I was being a bad friend for not wanting to game after my 6th 10-hour shift that week. That should been your sign to cut ties with him right then. You don't sit there and call someone a bad friend just because they want to get some sleep and not stay up and game. It's good that this person is no longer in your life and that you're doing much better. An ex-friend of mine was pushing me for inappropriate images under the flimsy guise of joking. Seemingly out of nowhere. I was in a 3-year relationship with my now husband, and this ex-friend of mine also had a GF of his own during this whole ordeal. Real classy. Now, this wasn't really something he had done previously in all our years knowing one another. So with that in mind, I foolishly tried to give him the benefit of the doubt and just made it unmistakably clear to him that if he didn't stop behaving like a mindless pervert, I'd cut contact and end our friendship. Then one day I got an image text. It was his boner outlined in gym shorts and a sad and completely see-through fish for compliments, then the most pathetic backpedal of the century. Friendship of 10 plus years ended. But not before I fucking laid into him first before blocking that toxic predator's ass. Fuck you. Lol. Last year, I think, this man sexually assaulted a teenage boy, 16 or 17, and the man was a middle school principal. The boy went into depression and was contemplating suicide, and he now has mental problems. I was talking to my friends about it in a group chat, and one of my friends who knew the man started defended him as if her life depended on it. Started cussing me out and talking about how he's always nice with her. Obviously he won't touch you. You're a girl. My other friend kicked her out of the group and we all blocked her. The victim of the situation preferred killing himself over telling someone about it, and it broke me. As for that friend, I want nothing to do with her. A school a couple town over my hometown is going through something similar. But it was the principal's kid who was the assaulter. He was the perfect kid. Captain of the swim team. Sexually assaulted a freshman swimmer with a shampoo bottle in the showers as a hazing ritual. First and only kid he did it to. His dad, teachers, and school district protected the kid by not reporting anything and pressuring the victim to keep quiet. Kid almost took his life over it within the week it happened. Aka how his parents found out. It's all still an ongoing investigation, but we all know the dad for sure will get fired. Son's already been taken into custody, and a lot of the teachers are under review. I've had friends just straight up stop talking to me, which I guess is a strong indicator that our friendship is over. My best friend quit as the best man of my wedding 2 weeks before wedding's day. Why did he quit? His new girlfriend doesn't like me. It seems like weddings are the ultimate friend filter. Didn't love my dog when he was dog sitting. Carelessly let her run away, then failed to look for her. My surveillance cameras caught it all. I was pissed. Friendship over. Did you find your dog? Yes, she came home that day an hour or 2 later. I saw her on the cameras out front and called him. Tells you who your actual best friend is. Good girl. We had one friend that said he fell on bad times with money, so we paid everything for him during the next couple of months. Drinks, cigars, travel. And after a few months we found out he was going out with new people all that time and was acting rich in front of them with all the money he was saving by scamming us. I hope it was as worth it for him as it was for us. My now ex called me having a bowling fit. Ex's sister and her husband were losing their house and needed 10k to save it. We argued and argued about it. I knew they were horrible with money and bought only the best on credit. My point was they were supposedly 10k behind on one house loan. Ex sent the money. I was the only one working in our household. Needless, I was livid. They went to dodging us and never returned calls. They went to Vegas on my money, took a cruise, and bought a new fridge because they didn't like the color of the one we gave them. They got drunk at a casino, called us up bragging about being up by 3k. I asked for the money then. Ghosted us. Took 2 years for the rest of the family to shame them into paying us back with no interest. I spent the money on a divorce and invested the rest. Cheap divorce in the long run.